Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors and salutations to all you Akim out there that's laboring in its truth and sincerity without wavering. And this is another show. I'm gonna title it "The Real ID Can Lead to the RFID Chip or the Mark of the Beast." However the Spirit has me write it. And pretty much this is the article. This is out of the Washington Post, and this is popping back up. Through the Spirit of the Lord, we done went into this a few times, a couple years ago, and this is a law that they made mandatory from 2005, I think it was. It's supposed to be a response to the 9/11, and this is all prophecy, man. It's gonna get ugly out here, man. It's gonna get ugly. Things are happening. People are still sleeping though, and a lot of people are not paying attention. And just look at how Esau changes things, man. Esau does things gradually. Sometimes he overnight does things, which all in all, guess what? Whatever this devil's doing, it's all in accordance with the plans of the Most High. All right, he's doing what the Most High wants him to do at the end of the day. That's in the book of Job, the 12th chapter. The deceived and the deceiver are his, meaning the Most High controls. Then it tells you in I think it might be, I got to look it up in Galatians, but on the left hand where the Most High doth work. Because why? The Most High controls both sides. You got Esau trying to control both sides of opposition as far as these different conflicts and wars that happen. That's them just trying to be the Most High. All right. So at the end of the day, he's doing everything is according to the Most High's will anyway. But Esau is in power, and what they're doing is they got these different, which is part of their demonic devices with these legislation of the real ID, which everything is a part of his new world order, which leads to his the mark of the beast. You see, that's how they set this whole system up from back when, with the binary code, as they call it, or barcode. Integrating the numerical value of 666 inside of the barcodes that's on everything that's in the United States has a barcode. You go into the store, everything has a barcode, and that's what they scan. So that's what this devil's doing. But now he's, and I'm gonna read this article again. It's out of the Washington Post. It's to the point where now a regular license is not good. Here it is. They make you get these driver's licenses, but then they just keep changing them, putting and that shows you how they really feel. See, a lot of people think they're doing it in the name of safety, but it's not. It's not. Really, this is about taking control and then setting you up for the chip. I mean, in my personal opinion, I believe that this is just another step towards issuing the chip to them, putting it on people. Because right now they're showing you if you're gonna have to have this real ID, and we're coming up on the mandated day, which is in October of 2020, right? So anyway, right here, go right here. It says, come fall 2020, every U.S. air traveler will be required to present a real ID compliant license or another acceptable form of identification, such as a U.S. passport, to board a domestic flight. So, that, which, they're doing this to the planes. They're gonna do it at the train stations pretty soon. You're not gonna even be able to catch a damn train. He's the devil, and the scriptures tell you that the devils come down with great wrath, man. You see, and this devil, he tries to force you, just like in slavery, they force Jake to eat fucked up diets such as the eating pork and all that, them abominations. They forced Jake, man, to where Jake loved it. Same thing with this austerity, man. They force it upon Jake, and not only Jake, but all the basically all, especially the American people. They force it upon you. All right, they give you all the image or the thought of these fictitious terrorists or whatever. They point the finger. Everybody's a boogeyman, except for the real boogeyman or the real person behind these so-called terrorist attacks, which is the so-called United States government, right, being ran by the devil, the so-called white man, Esau. You see, but this is like the scriptures say, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. In 2 Corinthians 2:11, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. At least at any time, he should get an advantage of us. So if you're not paying attention, then yeah, before you know it, you're gonna find yourself in a concentration camp or giving up all your rights, having a chip, shoved in or stuck into your hand or whatever, wondering how the hell you got to that position, And then the words that we've been saying are gonna echo in your ears, man, in your minds, in your heads. Oh shit, man, the prophets, the Israelite brothers, GMS brothers, they were speaking about this, man. Other Israelites gonna be tripping. Damn, man, you mean to tell me GMS was right? That's gonna be a humble pie they're gonna have to swallow, because they deemed us the worst camp out of it, which is a joke, because how do we make Israel look bad? Every time you turn around, you see his other, which I ain't gonna go all into that, but y'all see who really make Israel look bad with all these different crazy ass what do you call it, thrills and frills they trying to add, and how they sit there, pervert the gospel, turn the Lord's Passover into a damn a wicked ass concert, so forth and so on, man. The buffoonery continues, man. They making new 12 tribes chart out there on the streets with bulletproof vests and garments and that's not in the scriptures, man. That's not of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You see? But that's what Jake do, and a lot of same Jakes are the ones who slammed us for teaching about the mark of the beast being an RFID chip. And this thing is real, man. This thing is real. Like, look, they're talking about your license, your driver's license, and to get the real ID, they're gonna make it even harder for you to get it. You notice they used to have a lot of Social Security buildings. It used to be easy to get your Social Security card. A lot of times people have trouble getting their Social Security card. It's not, that's Esau, man. Esau's system. You got to go through here, and then now you can't get nobody on the phone. Everything is automated. So Esau can send you around, he got these machines. They can send you in circles. They can bounce you back and forth. Press this number, press 2, press 3. And you got to sit there and listen to the damn automated system, and you could be on that thing for hours and not get in touch with a person, So these things are happening. These things are established. Esau is really trying to bring about this new world order. So they got this Real ID Act that they're talking about here, which, like I said, there's other things that's going to happen, but this just shows you, I like the fact that this shows you how they could just implement it and make this thing law, because they already put it in the books and they gave to 2020. That's why it says come fall 2020, every U.S. air traveler, in which that goes into Alaska, Hawaii. All right, this is big out there, and they're forcing and pumping people to hurry up and get this thing. Will be required to present a Real ID compliant license or another acceptable form of identification, such as a U.S. passport, to board a domestic flight. The last phase of implementation of the federal law known as the Real ID Act goes into effect October 1st, 2020. You see? The last phase. So, meaning Esau, again, back to what I was saying, systematically, they do things, man. Systematically, they sit there and set these things in order. So that's why, us as the prophets, the men of the Lord, we got to make sure we stay vigilant, man, like the scriptures say. Matter of fact, hold on one second. See if I can find it, the precept real quick. Right, 1 Peter 5:8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, all right? Meaning you got to be alert. You got to be aware of these things, man. The scriptures say, be not ignorant of the greatest matter to the small. Roughly paraphrasing it. I believe it's in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus. Was it 3:18 or something like that? It was in the Apocrypha. I look. Well, you brothers could look it up. Put it on the comment board. The scriptures do say, be not ignorant of any matter, whether small or great. So these are things you got to be on point. You got to be in tune with these things, man. I mean, it's cool. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's a balance. If you got a demon, you got to go see Bad Boys 2. You know what I'm saying? But fuck Bad Boys 2. This is the real bad boy that's coming. Esau's the bad boy. He's been a bad boy. Now the Lord's about to get at him for being a bad boy. You see? But he's going to be even more than a bad boy. He's going to be a goddamn devil, man. He's going to really implement this thing with the RFID, the mark of the beast. And we got to keep pushing that, because that is a major part of the prophecy. It's written in the script. Else it wouldn't be in the scriptures. All right? And that's the thing. A lot of people, they get mad. They might think we sound like a broken record, and they think this is something that we try to make up. We ain't make this up. This is the Lord's word, man. We're just the messengers, man. We're just delivering what the Lord told us to deliver. You know what I'm saying? We delivering the goods. And a lot of people are offended because why? They get cut. Because what this means, a lot of people done got so comfortable in this fucking wicked ass society. So when they hear things of this nature, it shatters their dreams and their image of everything that they wanted to be in this society, man. When we sitting up here trying to wake you up, and really only the elect is going to be awoke and stay awoke. You know what I'm saying? But the scripture says that be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary is someone that opposes you, that's against you. All right, these elites, the ones that have been planning this whole New World Order, who's been planning the Third World War, setting up these false attacks, who's been sitting there putting sanctions on all these different countries and forcing people to bow down to their power, right? They're the adversary, the devil. See, the scripture says that. People get mad at us, but it's in the Bible. All right, the same Bible that they swearing. See, they be playing around because they demons, they devils. But when you really open the book and look inside it, man, ain't nothing nice, man. This book condemns them. And they know that. And they know that, like the scriptures say, they know that they have a short time. So that's why they're ramping things up to the point there's so many things. A lot of stuff get buried inside the media. A lot of media outlets don't even pick up on there's a lot of heavy things going on, man. It's not, we not just, people might think that, oh man, yeah, you've been saying that, nah, man, you ain't paying attention. It's a lot of things going on. Just like Noah, during that time, he's seen a lot of things. The Lord kept telling him, look, I'm going to fuck this place up. I'm going to flood this fucking place. Pardon me, I'm just putting it in, I'm just saying it in that manner, because the Most High kept telling Noah, and the Lord had to keep constantly for Noah to constantly go out there for over 100 years telling people, all right? But we ain't got nowhere near 100 years, man. Maybe, I ain't going to say we got 100 days, but I'm just saying, the time that we're in now, we're in a different time, and we're at the tail end of it. So we know that we ain't got, the scriptures say that the time is short, Then the scriptures tell you in Matthew 24 that the Lord got to cut that time short, or no flesh shall be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Matthew 24. So it says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, and that's why you see Esau trying to sit there and snatch brothers up and demonize brothers and everything. And that's how these devils coming. That's why they shooting everybody up. They in mode, man. The police department, the front line, of defense for Esau, they've been giving orders, shoot first, don't even worry about asking questions. You know what I'm saying? Later on, shoot somebody else, hide this, hide that. You see? Esau just going buck wild, man, on all levels, man, on all levels. And that's why you see this place where it is, man. That's why everybody's all vexed, stressed out, marching, seeking justice, because of why? The devil's going about as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And especially, he would love to get one of the prophets and get us to stop teaching and that's what Esau's been trying to do. And that's why these demons, and they really more so flock, like you see like Vocab Malone and all these other demons, they really more so flock to the true men of the Lord, man. Mainly the Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakadi be coming out, Apostle Ramlab, and other brothers as well. But the main, and they come at other Israelites too. I'm not saying that, but the main group is what? The prophets, man. Okay, the GMS branch of that the Lord set up, man. Great Millstone. We're the main ones that they try to come and stop us from pushing His word, because His word is affecting them, and through the Spirit of the Lord, there are a lot of people that actually are waking up, and a lot of people is little to nothing compared to the masses of people. But what I'm just saying, that there are people that do hear these words, that are taking heed when they go by the camps and they watch the live shows from the apostles and elders and other camps out there. There's people that take heed to these things, that and the Spirit of the Lord moves on them, and they start doing videos. All right, the Lord said He's going to pour His Spirit upon all flesh. So we in those times, because why? These are dangerous times. Esau is really, man, they're not playing games, man. And that's because the Most High got that Spirit on them. And they doing everything they could do to try to preserve their kingdom. It says, be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith. Yeah, that's as it is written, the just shall live by faith. All right, that's what we fight with. We fight with the faith. All right, which is believe. We know that the Most High is going to make good. The Lord said He's not a man. He's a man that He should not lie. The Most High never lied. Never, not once. All right. It says, knowing that the same afflictions, right? Because brothers are catching hell on all levels. All right. The scripture said the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Yeah, because Jake is out there catching hell, but I'm talking about the brothers in the truth, man. The brothers in the different camps that are scattered about. Brothers, and that's good though. That's good. Make sure you still continue and let that pump you up. Let that charge you up. You catching hell, As soon as the Spirit allow you to speak what the Lord showed you, go out there and speak it, man. Continue to speak the word. Even though you catching hell, keep speaking, keep going, keep praying, Keep pushing out videos. Keep being a brother, taking care of the flock and helping out brothers, man. You see? That's the battle. Don't give up. But anyway, let's see. Nah, we wasn't there. I guess that's the point. Let me get back to the article. All right, so it says the change, and if I don't get through the article, I mean, if you brothers haven't read it already, like I said, this is from the Washington Post. It's in a few different places, because it's a lot of information, so I doubt I'll get through all of it. It says the change, the last phase of implementation of the federal law known as the Real ID Act goes in effect October 1st, 2020. The law has changed how states issue driver's license and identification cards, requiring residents to present more documents than were previously required to prove their identity and legal residency. And it makes the rules consistent nationwide. So this is something, because why? This is a part of the New World Order. Order e pluribus unum. Out of many came one. All right? And it through what? Chaos. Order of chaos. So that means they know that it's going to get chaotic. They know a lot of people, there's going to be resistant for the chip. There's going to be a lot of people sit there, well, what's wrong with why I got to keep getting new licenses? Then they're going to, of course, the prices, how much they raise the prices up. And if you lose one, it's even double and triple, So, but at the end of the day, Esau plans on implementing this. So that way they'll be able to sit there and just grab people up randomly for no reason. And if you ain't got a real ID, they can say that you're a terrorist. They can detain you indefinitely, man. This is what was going on. And we told people long ago that the government considers the U.S. Citizens as enemy combatants. And this is going to further demonize and make everybody, all the so-called American people, getting ready. In October is right before the November elections, right? Which I don't see, just like Putin's setting the stage for him to rule for forever, basically. Where they say well into 2024. I see Trump doing the same thing. I don't see that impeachment going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's just nonsense, man. Trump is the guy, and they're gonna make. I can see them still being there. But it's all according to the Lord's will, how it goes down, how the Lord choose to make it happen. It says, states and residents have struggled with the new document requirements, which includes obtaining birth certificates, which, is hard for some people to get birth certificates nowadays. Social Security, which they should have all this shit on record. You see? Social Security cards and multiple proofs of residency. Yeah, you're going to have all kind of bills in your name. You might not have no bills coming in your name. But that's how this devil operates, man. It says, McLaurin Klingler, a spokeswoman for the Department of Homeland Security, said most states have made progress in meeting the federal deadline. If your license it's some motor vehicles, when you got to renew it or whatever, they'll renew it with the real ID. There's a lot of brothers that got it. But then brothers who don't have to renew their license or got the old license, they're going to sit there and fuck with you. And that's where we got to be faithful unto death at the end of the day. You got to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. But this is just showing you, by them making you get this real ID, it's not going to stop there. They're going to say, all right, you know what, that ain't work. Okay? They're going to say we're going to have to put, which is already in the books, the RFID chip. They're going to say, all right, we're going to have to have it mandatory. We're going to make it mandatory. You see? Which before they tried to do it, but a lot of people, there was a lot of resistance. You see? And it wasn't time yet. And overall, this devil can't do nothing beyond what the Most High want him to do. It said, if your license or ID card is marked with a star in the upper right corner, of course it's going to be a pentagram, which ain't nothing but a symbol of Satanism. It is compliant with the Real ID Act. And see, that's what they care about, man. They care about compliancy. And the same thing with the chip. That's how it's going to be. Now, matter of fact, let's go, let's read about the chip. And again, we can't bring these things out enough, man. You see? Can't bring this out enough. Revelations 13, and I start at 14. Right? It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which ye have power to do in the sight of the beast, which, that was, the Most High was with this devil to make these different bombs and amass the power that they got, bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? So, and when they did that, that's when everybody feared, like, oh shit, right now, and that's why people like this, they got which they make, what they called it, was it the Geneva Convention, where they made the different laws on going to war or whatever, which show you that the thing is all controlled and staged. How the hell are you gonna have a rules of engagement, laws on war? If it's on, man, all the rule book goes out the door in a real fight. You know what I'm saying? But that's what these devils did, right? And of course, NATO is the spearhead of that. The beast, which is who controls NATO. Again, NATO, the power, look, we've been telling you, the ones that's controlling NATO is the United States. At the end of the day, the United States is the spokesperson and the figurehead. And there's a lot of people within NATO that can't stand the United States. You see? And that's going further into the prophecy. We're going to see these other nations such as France, Germany, and other nations coming against, not just Russia, okay, Iran, and you're going to actually have France and these other NATO nations are going to come against America, all right? That's Obadiah. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee to the border and have laid a wound for thee. Because you got these other nations, they can't stand the United States or them so-called Jews or so-called Israelis, all right? So that's going to be the death of these devils, man. But it says, where were we? It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. Going back into what? The Roman Empire and being resurrected again today, pretty much as NATO. Because see, different kingdoms live through time, because there's this thing called reincarnation. All right, just like shit. I mean, even us. At one time, we were in power. You know, in history, we were the kings. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord brought us down, and we know why. Because it was prophecy. We went against His law, statutes, and commandments. Same thing with the pagan Roman Empire, where Esau was ruling. All right, it was all the time rulerships were set up for a time period. Okay, and then the scriptures tell you that, man. And in Daniel, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. All right, and setteth up whosoever He will. So that's why you had the changing of the guards. But the Roman Empire, when it speaks about the deadly wound, all right, because it was a great empire at one point. They took over the whole known world and conquered it, right? And it's so to the point where you got so many different stories about the fall of Rome, you see. But now it said, which had the wound by a sword, and it went through a lot of infighting, the gladiators, you know, all the corruption. The armies were spread out. There was plenty of reasons when you go into the fall of the Roman Empire, all right? Just like today, because this is the Roman Empire all over again. The deadly wound was healed, going back into the Renaissance. That's why they called it the Renaissance, the rebirth. Rebirth of what? The rebirth of Esau or that Roman Empire coming back into power, all right? And now they sit as NATO, as the force, the army, you know, the power of that beast. So it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's what they're doing, which is their system. They setting up, and again, it leads to the chip. Everything that they putting in place, like we're reading now about the Real ID Act and everything. These legislation, this system, that's all contributing to the image of the beast, all right? Which is going to lead to what? That actual mark of the beast, which is going to be the final, all right? Them injecting the actual chip into your hand. So it says, where we at? And causes many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, and he causes all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their hand or in their foreheads. And we know what that mark is. That mark is that what? That chip, okay? That chip. It said, in that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So in other words, you're going to have that RFID chip in your hand in order to make purchases, you know? That's why you got all these different ATMs and everything. They switching over, and they all got that scan on there. Basically, it scans your hand. These gas stations have it too, by the gas pump. Because why? They're all preparing for the chip. They're putting the technology in place because this is a reality. All right, this is what they plan on doing. You see, and it says all, small and great. All right, and it says the only way you're gonna be able to buy and sell, which that shows you that it's not no Christianity, it's not no embargo, nowhere near none of that. Nah, it's talking about the chip, the RFID chip. And see, like with the Real ID card, pretty soon, we was reading, you're not going to be able to fly on these domestic flights, and none of these flights, you're not going to be able to fly on them. And you know that's going to go into the trains eventually, and you ain't going to be able to go inside the courthouses, and, so then a warrant's going to be issued for your arrest. Like, it all trickles down to Esau fucking oppressing you and afflicting you and putting hell, locking your ass up, detaining you, all right? Detaining you, say, oh, we got to figure out, we don't know who you are, Yeah, this is real. This is reality. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, even going into that number, 666. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which is 666. And that's why I said earlier, Esau, you know, he been had this thing set up long ago, and that's why he has that number 666 into the barcode. All right, that number is a part of the barcode. The numerical value of the beginning, the middle, and the end is 666. You see, and now with this real ID, you know, for the mark to prove that you got it, they put what? A pentagram. They call it a star, a gold star in the corner, which is nothing but a 5-pointed star is a pentagram. You see, showing you that this is all they operating under the power of Satan. So if you don't get that chip, you're gonna, and that's gonna be our temptation, because you know you're gonna have to really be trusting in the Lord to not succumb to that pressure that Esau's gonna apply. Right now they're applying the pressure with the real ID card, but eventually they're gonna apply the pressure on a chip. It's gonna be a matter of your life or your death. You see. So now this is Revelations 15 and 1. And this is going into the prophecies. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High, which that's going into what? The destruction, the nuclear destruction that's coming to America. All right. It says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, because remember when you go back in Isaiah, it tells you, come up hither, enter into thy chambers, until the indignation be overpassed. And then in Revelations, the 11th chapter, where John the Revelator said he heard a voice that said, come up hither. So that's the elect being beamed up into the chariots of the Lord. All right. So that's why and this is how they're going to be, you know, looking at the destruction with the eye out of the windows, as the scriptures say, right? And they're going to see it. That's how it's going to look, as a sea of glass mingled with fire, because they're going to be seeing all the missiles going off and seeing America just burning down from being up in the chariots. It says, in them that had gotten the victory, see, that's the elect, the 144,000. It said the victory over the beast and over his image, right? So they're not going to follow or support this system. You see? Because now, you know, we all got to have, and it's a difference, man. And it's a difference, because we all got to have, you know, right now to function, you got to have credit card or debit cards. It's the same shit, right? And yeah, they got RFID chips in them. Now before they didn't have chips in them. Now they got RFID chips in them. But the point is, they haven't put it inside of our hand or in no parts of our body. You could take a credit card out and just toss the shit into the damn ocean. You understand? So it says, them that had gotten a victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name, stand on a sea of glass having the harps of the Most High. You see? Yeah, they was playing that song, the word of the Most High, this truth. All right? So, and then it said the number of his name, which again, that goes into what? The 666. You see? So they didn't receive, the philosophies of this world. They didn't, they overcame this world, you see? Because Esau's spirit is all in this world as far as the philosophies, this homosexuality. If you sit there and accept homosexuality, then you fell victim to Esau, to his image, his system, the whole nine. And you're gonna take the chip. You know what I'm saying? If you're a part of this man's system and believe in what he's pushing out there, see, we don't have no power to do no. Our power is just to teach the word. And the scriptures say we gotta be wise as a serpent, use the word not as abusing it. So we gotta, and then Yahweh Shai prayed in John 17, to the Father to be with us. Not that you should take them out of the world, but be with them while they're in this world. So we're still in this world, in this fucking hellhole, and we gotta operate. So yeah, we do, and that's the curses anyway. The scriptures tell us in the one of everything, going back to Deuteronomy 28, in the one of for everything, we got to go to this devil. Because why? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The Most High set these devils up in power. So yeah, we do got to, and then this Romans 13, obey the powers that be. So we're not out here doing nothing, no criminal acts or whatever, as far as going out there committing crimes and murder. Nah, we don't do no shit like that. But at the end of the day, we're refusing this whole image and everything, man. We ain't dealing with the philosophy of nothing of this world, man. We don't believe in Roman Catholic bullshit nonsense. We don't believe in the homosexuals should have rights and all. Nah, we ain't dealing with that. You know, we ain't dealing with that, and we know that the Most High is going to bring judgment upon this place for that. That's one of the main reasons the Most High is bringing judgment on this place, man. You know, and we damn sure ain't going to take no chip, man. You take the chip, that's it. You see? Matter of fact, we'll go to Revelation 16:1. Now, I'm going to wrap it up on this one. Revelation 16:1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, again, and a lot of times when you read the book of Revelations, and it's spiritual. Like they tell you in Isaiah, here a little, there a little, it jumps around, and it's all prophetic. And a lot of times, sometimes it could be talking about the same prophecy, which most of it is talking about the end time, the final destruction, right? That's why the seven represents the completion. The seven trump, the last trump, which is the last trump, right? That represents completion. So that's how the scriptures are broken down. You know, that's how, and the Spirit of the Lord got to be with you to be able to tie the pieces in and get the understanding to bring it forth. You see, but this is how we know that this thing is going to happen. We know that Esau is planning on this RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, because we're reading about it, and we're reading about what would happen if you decided you got simple enough to take it. All right, it says Revelation 16:1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. Because remember, the Lord is going to take control over those missiles. The wrath of the Most High is those missiles, man. All right? That's why the scripture says, I'll create the waste to destroy, because the Most High Spirit is going to be in the missiles. When they hit that hot fire, right? Like the scripture say, going to make America feel like a big damn oven. It's going to be just even worse, actually. They gave you a glimpse of it with the Terminator movie, how the Sarah O'Connor, she would just melted away on the fence and everything. All right, it's going to be even worse than that, man. It's going to be quick, you know. It's going to get hot. And anybody, as the scripture say, not even a blade of grass is going to be left. You see? So that's that wrath of the Most High that the Lord is going to allow the angels to put in Esau's mind. The other nations, they're going to be shooting missiles off. Really, it's going to be the Most High taking control. It said, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and it fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, which that's talking about now. All right, it's not talking about in the times past, because that the mark of the beast didn't come yet. That was you got prophecies that are set up for the end time, you know. So it said a grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. Yeah, everybody that sold out and then that gave in and took the chip, it meaning what? A grievous sore, meaning they got burnt up in that fire. The wrath of the Most High fell upon them, man. You see? And that's what's going to happen to anybody that decides to take that chip, you know? But anyway, I'm going to end it there without further going on. I mean, I know the point was made, you know, part of me getting at a loss for words and stuff. I ain't, hey, it's all the Spirit. I didn't see this one going this long, but it's all spiritual, you know. So, in other words, I'm going to leave it there for now. I mean, the point is made. Esau, they pushing this thing with the real ID. And like I said, I won't be surprised this leads to them implementing the RFID chip, you know. Although Esau do got various ways to implement the chip, you know, and I just wanted to get the judgment. That's why I went to Revelation, the 16th chapter, you know, in the second verse, to get the judgment of what's going to happen when you take the chip, you know. So anyway, hopefully brothers were edified, you know. As always, all praises and glory and honor go to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and say shalom to you, sincere Akim. Shalom.